Okay, so this is going to be a bit of a catch-up review for episodes 22 and 23 of Kamen Rider ZEZTZ, because I just don't have a lot of time for editing this week, and I really have to get to these episodes. So there's not going to be any like snippets or clips from the episodes. It's just going to be me speaking off the cuff. But I will say that this marks a bit of a turning point for the show, because the status quo does change in quite a few ways. I mean, first and foremost, it does start off where the RPG episodes left off, where the Demon King Nightmare escapes the dream world, and then 5 and 6 are still hot on Nox's trail. And then as for Baku, his mission is to avoid the nightmare scenario, and we kind of see a bit of a clashing of the egos between him and 5 and 6, because he has a bit of a reluctance to kill, and as we know, he still has his reservations about Code and their mission. And 5 and 6, they're kind of in the ballpark of, well, if you're not willing to do what needs to be done, you might as well hand over your belt now. But as they kind of go their separate ways, this kind of leads to disaster, because as they're facing off against Nox and the Nightmare, Agent 6, she's the one, well, first, she ends up injured, and she's depowered out of her suit, and Nox drops down his Toku toy gun and pulls out a real, how should I say this, a real ass gun, and caps her, basically. And they say that, you know, whenever you don't see the body, it suggests that the person may not be dead, but we hear the gunshot followed by her body falling to the floor, so I think that's pretty apparent that she's dead, and followed by Agent 5 after her. So by the time Baku gets there, it's already too late. And when he tries to go at Nox, he ends up shot. I'm not quite sure how he survived that, because like it looks like he got shot in the chest himself, but it was by Nox's toy weapon. But I'm not quite sure like how this works. But he's sent to the dream world, where we see that as a baby, he may or may not have a part in the existence of the nightmares, because Baku himself has an original nightmare that came from him that's been there since his birth, and this gives him his new power-up. Like, it's not really well explained as to how or where it came from, but this is what leads into the next episode, where he uses that to then, kill Nox. And, well, I put in air quotes because I really don't believe that Nox is dead, because for him to die at this point in the show leaves a lot of unanswered questions as to, you know, why he has his grudge against Code, and as to why he has all this cryptic speak about them. So I really hope that he isn't dead. And then for most of the rest of episode 23, Baku is left in a comatose state, where he's with Nem most of the time, and because of his indecision, he makes the decision to shed his civilian identity as Yorozu Baku and fully embrace the Agent 7 aspect of himself. And this is where he ends up destroying the dream world, and that kind of leaves me with questions, because so is he like destroying his dream world, or like how does that affect the dreams of everyone else? Because if he destroys the dream world, then does no one else dream? But this is what brings the nightmares into real life, and also allows Nem to wake up from her dream. And this is where we find out that the lady this entire time has been Nem's mother, because this is the first person that she's greeted to outside the dream. Now, a couple of thoughts here for this set of episodes, because like I said, like this is like a really dark turn for the show. Like I'd almost say this is going into early Heisei territory, because I don't think we've seen a villain this cold-blooded like Nox in a long time. And then just to have our hero just straight up kill like another human being like that, I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong, but I can't really think of like the last time that it's happened this blatantly, you know. And then as for the lady being Nem's mother, I've heard some folks say that this is kind of a first for the show, because usually in Kamen Rider, we'll have deadbeat dads, and just to have, like, how should I say this? We've never seen a deadbeat mom like this. Then again, can you really call her deadbeat if she's been here this entire time? So, I don't know, what's the proper word? Like villain moms then? I think that's the right term, right? But anyway, I really like where Kamen Rider ZEZTZ is going so far, because just the twists and turns and the mystery of it all has just kept me engaged and coming back week after week. I have not missed an episode yet, mind you. And I think it's safe to say at this point, like, if the series keeps up this level of quality and storytelling, I think I can easily call it the best of the Railway era so far. And that's a lot considering Geats, like how much of a fan favorite that is. But anyway, what do you guys think of the episodes? Let me know down in the comment section. I'll see you all next week, and you guys take care.